we're 5 minutes late, we was in executive session talking about personnel. Dan, for the pledge of allegiance. Becky,
Yes, sir.
will you lead us?
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, man.
Councilman Falk?
Here.
Councilman Fallon?
Here.
Councilman Hondo?
Here.
Councilman Stein?
Here.
Vice President Bodine?
Here.
President Engel?
Here. Okay, Joe, before we start, this, then I'm gonna let you, right here after this. You want to say,
Oh, no, I told you.
Oh, you told me.
I never,
you took it off pretty quickly.
I did.
The agenda stuff for council, the agenda stuff. This is where, you know, when you want to know what it's about and talk about it here. So we get our stuff together, and then the following week, we know what we're talking about, okay? Instead of just saying nothing now, and then next week, bam, you know what I mean? So, we're gonna go down, Joe will go down, and we'll go from there. Mayor, still standing?
I'm having a hard time, I'm working my way to sitting down.
I thought you were still looking for your golf ball.
No,
Oh.
I'm still looking for my golf balls.
Oh, you got a bad back. Go ahead, Joe. Oh.
We doing a roll call?
Yeah.
I was sleeping. All right, we'll have a motion for the final contract documentation with change orders. Everyone got the email last week, that whole contract for the new building, we have to put in the minutes and just approve the final one, so we can get the grant money to move forward. We have a motion to offer retirement for police officers with 50 years of age and 25 years of service. We feel that we're overstaffed with police.
Are we giving them a 30-day window to accept, Joe, or
Give them till the end of the year.
till the end of the year? Okay.
Yeah. We're working on a collective bargaining agreement, that's where we just came from. I will give it to the union tomorrow, what we discussed, and they will, they'll give me a final product. Do we want to get this over at the next meeting? We can do it with that retirement piece that we just talked about, depending on that it comes a favorable outcome from the pension. What we're talking about is, they're asking for 55 and 30 years to retire. Right now, it's 60 and 25. Early retirement, 60 and 25. They're asking to lower it to 55 and 30. To do that, you can't just say, yes, we want to do this. You have to have a cost study done by the pension to make sure that the pension can support these people. Because it just could support them leaving and collecting their pension for that amount of, that extra. Now, the pension, obviously, is gonna be less if they're gonna take it earlier. So that's where we are. So we don't have an answer to see if it's favorable yet. So we can probably put on a motion, and hopefully I have it by then, pending a favorable outcome for the pension. If not, we'll wait till December.
We'd like to get it, you know, we'd like to.
Yeah, I would like to get it done as soon as possible, and I know they do. Number 4, cleaning company for new municipal building products. Well, everybody, I contacted 3 companies. We have a public works employee that works in the building and cleans it. I don't think he can do it. I know it's public works, and he even thinks it's probably too much for him to be able to do. So we could use him back in public works, right? We all talking about that, we could use him back there. We probably get away less expensive by hiring a company to come in and clean the building. Another option would be to hire under an administration title, not public works, somebody that's qualified to clean the building or buildings. So that's some things that we're just looking, there's 3 companies I contacted.
that we're gonna give.
What companies were they, may I ask?
Yeah, one is Mooney Cleaning Janitorial Services, one is Service Master, and the other one is General Cleaning, which is in our hometown of Homestead.
Were they advertised, Mr. Horrible?
No, they don't need to be advertised. It's professional services, so as long as we get other quotes and we don't have to advertise.
And it's voted on.
And we voted.
Well,
And we did hire a company in the past to clean this building, if you all remember, and they were horrible. They didn't show up.
They were
so
terrible.
forth and so on. They didn't come here. We didn't even know what they did. We fired them immediately. There was something in there. Service Master,
they've been around a long time.
Service Master's only good as the franchisee. It's not a company, they're franchises.
Oh.
That's who cleans West Mifflin. They do a good job there, Brian said, so that's why I called them. The second one was Mooney Janitorial Services. I think he said he does Homestead. That was referred to me by the firemen. They knew him. He works at Woodland Hills High School as well. And he goes at night and he does this. We'll get references for all these. And again, general cleaning is done, is right here. They also talked about some of the areas where there's tile, and it's called, help me out.
Ceramic.
Tile, CVT, VCT, vinyl
Flooring.
tile coating.
PVC,
Tell me?
on for PVC.
No, is it vinyl tile cleaning? I don't know. It's something, but they said it's like a coating. It's the first coating you need to put on it before. Yeah, so you don't put the water. So Service Master gave me a price to do that in those areas as well. General cleaning, he does windows as well. And they all had their, which I was hoping. I was hoping they didn't just come and they'd say, we do the exact same thing and this is the price. They all kind of do different things and it may, so I'll have them and I'll be able to talk more about them throughout the week when I get general cleanings and I can send them to everybody and they can have them. Again, we don't need to make a decision at this meeting. This is just something I brought up. The 2022 budget, we're working through that. Becky and I are working through that. We will, we'll have some budget meetings, collective bargaining kind of preceded that. You and Dave will be invited to those meetings as well. And just for reference, if you don't like something and the budget's passed, you can reopen it in the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Right now, what we do is, and I know you asked about the public comment. Well, Becky and I put together, we sit down and go through tendencies of what we have. And then department heads or tell us what they want, and council decides how much they want to put in there. What you're setting yourself up when you bring the public in, you're more or less asking the public, what do you want from us? And if you can't give it to them, you look bad. So we're better off sitting down, what it is, looking to where we are year to date, and then saying, okay, this is what we need to do. For instance, and there's going to be a tax increase. There's no way around it so far what we did. And here we were trying to cut out the expenditures. There's no way around a tax increase. Okay. The GED grant update, it took me forever today. I wrote that last week and I had no idea what that was. But what it is we have a grant for $500,000 we're asking to shape up the road over here in some of the entities. We made this Raymond Barner Way, and what is it? It's a driveway, right? We're asking for grant money to make it look like a road with parking, off-side parking and everything. We're gonna get to the same place, just the look's gonna be a little bit different. And I thought that would be approved in November. I'm finding out it won't be approved till March or April. So we need to,
These gaming grants on.
yeah, I thought it was gonna be now so we can wait to see what we pay. Now, there is still, I think we ought to wait till Jet Jack is done with their work, to see, because there is asphalt work that they will do. Just look to see what it looks like when they're done. We might be able to have a change order, pay a little more to fix some of the areas up, for the time being. All right, tax anticipation note. Talking to them right now to get that moving forward as fast as possible.
How much are you anticipating for that?
I'm asking for, right now, for a 1 1.25. Keep in mind, we have,
1.25 what?
Million.
we're looking at this, we're waiting for some grant money, you know, so we may need it.
Can you go back for a second to the grants? We got COVID grants of $500,000, and if we determined where we can use that money yet?
Rick, it's so difficult right now. All we know now is SOAR work and any lost revenue. Lost revenue for 19 to 20 was like $98,000. So we could use that, put that in the general fund, which we have already. And the other SOAR work we can use. So we do have some work out here with the site, the, JetJack, the work that they're doing. A lot of that would be considered SOAR work, right?
So that's not this GEDTF grant?
No.
This is a totally different entity.
Right.
Go ahead, I'm with you.
Yeah, so I would consider that being some of that work that's being out here is SOAR work, right? And you can use SOAR work with that ARPA fund, so some of the overflow that we have, we could take out of it.
So we've already taken $98,000, whatever it was, and put it into the general fund already.
Yeah, we just did that, this Monday?
I think it was Friday.
Friday, or
Yeah,
Monday?
Okay.
Friday.
Yeah,
All right.
There's another 500,000 will be coming in next year.
Next year, right.
Spring,
Right.
summer. Okay.
so and that's something we can do in the first quarter, look at it to see where we can use this money. And it's very difficult, I mean, everyone I talked to said it's so difficult to find out what you can use it for. But there's always projects that we can say, okay, let's see, maybe we can call the state or whatever, governor's office and find out if we can use it for X. And we're just looking for another grant. You know what? That GEDTF, cross that out, that's multimodal. We make grants going, not that it changes anything, just the name. GEDTF grant is a grant we did for 22nd Avenue.
Okay, that's right.
What's this one?
This is a multimodal,
Multi.
MODAL. That's, we have a bike rack there, we have parking there, a bus that goes right by, and we can do some streetscape. And I tried to explain to them, Kevin, that streetscape, we can, because the side of our building is the side of our building, if we redo the war memorial, looking beautiful, like it's the front of the building, we could use this money for streetscape reasons. And they said, not.
Really?
Tried. He said, well, everything looks good except that war memorial on the side of the building. But it looks like it's the front of the building if you take a bus and ride by.
But didn't our grant writer say that there's a possibility that she could find something?
Well, she will. She'll look for it and something comes up specifically for that. Because if we have some kind of veteran grant out there, like bulletproof vest, the only one thing you use bulletproof vest. If there's a grant that we can grab.
I mean, did you anticipate, like, what it would run, like, cost-wise to?
Not yet, and you know what, it kind of makes sense to, as they planted the grass, it looks different, looks better, the roads it's starting to come back a little bit, so maybe, a year down the road, you look at it and say, I mean, those blocks in there, you can't read anybody's name on there, they need all taken out, redone, sell some more, make it a patio, and twist it so it's in the front of the building, rather than where it's angled, don't you think? All right. There's another resolution, I added 9, I left 8 off for a reason. 9 is a resolution that we have to pass designating a primary contact like we did last week for some of the other grants, for the library grant that we're supporting, not getting, but supporting for the library. And the last but not least is the Eagle Scout project. An individual, Jason, would you like to help me with that name? Collins?
Last name's Collins, I can't remember his first name.
Nate Collins
Nate Collins, thank you.
is, Nate Collins is a Eagle Scout that would like to, he's going for Eagle Scout, he'd like to improve the dog park down by the library, and he wants to use this project. He needs funding for this. Obviously, Munhall Borough is not going to fund him. And I gotta get back to you on this, because I wanted to find out, there's a problem that Munhall Borough gets in here. Even if we would put on our website a GoFundMe page, he has a GoFundMe and we support it. And then all of a sudden, what happens if it falls through? The borough could be held liable for him taking our money, because it's on our website. Then, yeah.
I know we're not gonna, can't give them any money. Can we, like, offer some, other kind of like work, like, do some concrete work or something like that, or where they can use the backhoe? You know, send the guy down there and do something, can we do something like that? Instead of money? I'm just asking.
Well, the only problem you have with that is now you open it up for anybody that wants help from the borough to offer them help.
I think that's something the solicitor would be a good question for the solicitor.
Mark and I were talking about donations, you know, if we all donate whatever we want to donate, is that a big deal? But if all council, Munhall Borough, would all put the checks together and send it to the individual, and then it's a nice gesture from our own money going to them. Like we did with the library with Greg's dad.
Right.
May I please say something? Because you know me. I don't think, I was in Girl Scouts for 15 years. I did the Gold Project, all that stuff. I realize this is Boy Scouts. It is his job. If he wants to do the project, he has to do it. He can't depend on this. I think we have enough projects and enough concerns in the borough itself beside an Eagle project. It sounds wonderful. I'd like to see it too. But I think we have other projects where we need money. Personally, I'll just say maps. I'm just saying to you, I don't think that the Eagle Scout project is a concern where we should be spending money. Because I'm hearing rumors, we're putting in for another tax anticipation note. We don't have money to pay our own bills. I don't think we need to go, that's my opinion.
We're not giving them
No one
money.
talked about tax money.
I'm just saying to you, you're saying council members can put their monies together. Well, family, friends, if you all want to, that's fine. But I don't think that's something that we as council need to do right now. I think we have a lot of concerns about a lot of money and where it's going and what it's doing, that every little bit keeps adding up. That's my opinion.
He is doing it all himself, but he just has to, there's some kind of help that the borough can help him with. Not money-wise, but,
No, but Mr. Varhola just said about money-wise.
Yeah, and I think Mr. Varhola is allowed to do whatever he wants with his money.
We're talking about our money.
Personal donation, not
These are all
borough
personal.
tax money. Personal donation, if I wanted to write a check,
Okay.
I can personally do it, but not borough money though.
Well, not even that, but since the borough seems to like to update 3 other parks that aren't in that area, they should at least give some moral support to the park that is down in Lower Munhall. Since the park behind there went to trash. So it doesn't look good for Munhall not to support this boy who's trying to do something good for that area. We all know how I feel about that, so.
I'm glad you speak up there, Emma. Good.
You know, the other option, I know, I've been talking to his mom, and it would be good for him to do it properly, but there's also the option of if you can only afford to do so many things, we reduce the scope of the project.
Right.
You know, that's another option. It's not an ideal one, but you do what you can.
One other thing is, Still Valley approved unanimously the crossing guard increase rate. And I had some, I did some gazettas today. And from 2018 to 2020, we got $1 million less in real estate taxes. $1 million. From 2015 to 2020, 6 years, we decreased real estate taxes. This is with the last 2 years. We're going to try to reassess every single house that was sold that's not taxed correctly to a film. Last week, it was 19, or last month, it was 19, 2 and 2. 19 wins, 2 ties, and 2 losses. With all those wins, we lost $3,900 in tax revenue because somebody in the waterfront wanted to get us reassessed, and they came down $1 million. There's another one, right now I got a letter from the hotel down there, that they want to assess it. Send it right to Nick and Garrick, said, hey, we need to make sure we don't let this one go. That's assessed at $3 million now, and they want to fight it. The hotel down in West Homestead is assessed at $6 million. So the houses we're winning the houses. Some of the ones that we lost, of the 2 we lost, one was that Parhax that bought that property off of us. We auctioned it away. That was one. It wasn't assessed that much, but it should have went down where it was. And the other one, so that was a logical loss. And the other one was the other one, McQuinney, the other one that he bought off of the borough, and he got that reduced. Again, an empty lot. And this one was assessed, decreased to $1,425 or so. Parhax was $2,500 or $2,500.
He probably did the borough a favor, because there were a lot of trees on that lot he bought. They cut
They cut them
down
down.
a ton of trees. So they would have been falling on the streets.
It looks pretty nice.
Yeah, they did a nice job.
Yeah, I did.
And in real estate taxes decreased, and not to pick on the police, but they're the biggest group. Their compensation went up $500,000. I just thought that was, I don't know what makes me even think of looking at that
Can I please ask you, just because I did feel in the right to talk, and I wanted you to tell us more about number 1, final contract documentation for change orders, and I know you just said it's regarding the new building. Would you give us some details about what that's all about?
Yes.
So I know and everybody knows.
stuff. We signed a contract with the contractor, and
So that was with
Franjo.
Franjo.
Now that it's all coming to fruition, we have to sign off on the final document. And that's what we have to vote for, to get it on the minutes, so we can give it to the grant people, so we can get paid for the $1 million.
So that's all we owe on it, is that what you're saying? $1 million?
No, I'm just saying that
How much share with us, how much did it cost all told when it's all said and done and we're all over?
The original contract was $5,539,000. The change order was $115,000 on it.
Hold on, I'm writing a change order. Okay.
I could give you a copy of this. I'd
That's
be more than
okay.
happy to give you a copy of this. And the current contract amount came to $5,654,668.76. So the contractor signs off, Hat signs off, and now Harvey gonna sign off. But we gotta have minutes to send to them as well.
So the final figure was 5,000,000, did you say 654,000, what?
$668.76.
And then we get a
How much?
$1 million grant, right?
Right.
Back.
No, how much was spent in the whole building, the actual cost, above the grant?
No, then we had, to abate it,
Right,
yeah, that was an additional, what?
Million.
1,227,000.
so the total number is another million,
Yeah.
some odd dollar,
Right.
plus whatever money we did put into it after that for certain monies that we got, that we put into it.
Right.
Like 150,000, we got it for a grant, we put
Right.
it in for that.
Right.
So what, do you have a total, what the actual whole cost is?
I'll give that to you next week.
All right, just curious,
Yeah.
that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Give me a
And
copy.
that's okay, because I'd like to know that too, just out of curiosity.
Do we have any idea when we're going in that building?
I'm hoping the next council meeting, December council meeting, that we are having over there. Furnishers in, tomorrow, the wall or the window coverings are going in. That's all I have.
All right, hey, before, this has nothing to do with council, but, that young kid had that fire up on Cambria and Emerson. No, they're having a spaghetti dinner, everything from Fox's after 3 o'clock Sunday,
3 to 7.
3 to 7 Sunday. Spaghetti dinner and
At
all the
Fox's?
proceeds. Pardon me?
At Fox's?
Yeah, Fox's, that, it used to be Fox's, yeah. And all the proceeds are going to go, they're going to have Chinese off there
I think
too.
it's a $12.
He didn't have no insurance, so.
When does that work? What day is it?
Sunday.
This coming Sunday.
That's that cost, I mean, the old.
At Fox.
Yeah.
Also, the Steel Valley Veterans Program is Friday at 12:30 at the high school, if anybody's interested.
Sounds like it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it should be. We have a great speaker, I think. We got an admiral coming to speak. He used to run the Naval Academy and he played with Staubach, and he's a good friend. We worked with Staubach for years.
So, can I have the floor?
Sure, go right ahead.
Because I've been patiently waiting to speak.
All right.
So, start, I'd like to congratulate members of council who won their election bid.
I was going to do that next
I'd like
week.
to congratulate Rob for will be the next mayor. I'd like to mention too that the Boy Scouts are going to be at the cemetery this Saturday removing all the flags as part of the Memorial Day, or I guess you would call it that, ceremonies. They take the flags down every year. Our Christmas light up this year is going to be December 3rd, I believe. Is that the date?
Yes.
December 3rd. We are going to decorate this building and light it and use it as a,
Is that a Friday night?
Yeah.
it's a Friday night.
Okay.
Yep, and we have several things lined up already who are going to be involved in it. I believe you did talk to Father Dan, and he's going to be available?
He's getting back to me to make sure.
Okay. So we are going to invite the high school band and.
They're coming.
And, great, so I haven't spoken to you since our first meeting about it, so we're looking forward to that being, I guess, another light up night at the municipal building.
Did you say that's December 3rd, the light up night?
December 3rd, Friday. Yep. And I'm not sure what name we're gonna call it, Joe. I think you did send the email out that, I forget what we call it, because there's contractual reasons why we can't call it light up night, but
Did you dig something up?
I think,
Uplight.
I forget what it was we were gonna use.
Christmas lights in Munhall, I think. or
Christmas
something.
lights or holiday lights or something like that.
However,
Or holiday.
yes, so that will be good. And I did ask that question too about the, when are we gonna move into the next building? And I do think we should move in. It would be appropriate that we move in next December, have a meeting there. I think that would be appropriate to do. Questions I have a lot are on the budget, and you know, we keep seeing the budget numbers, and in your statement today was, we're gonna have a budget increase, we're gonna have a tax increase. I was not at the last meeting. I was unable to attend the workshop meeting. My back was too bad, and I was out of town on vacation for my last, for the last council meeting. So I was not in town, not able to attend, but I believe Jason said we had over $1 million in our account. And I'm wondering where we're gonna be at the end of the year for December, you know, to end the new year and start a new next year, you know, where are we gonna be at? And that's gonna play a role in what our budget and what our tax increase, if we do have to have a tax increase, how much is that tax increase gonna be? You know, what was budgeted in this year of 2021, what was spent that we didn't have budgeted? Did we have payments budgeted for the building in our budget last year?
Yeah.
It was in the budget? Good. And
So the
so,
problem is too, Rick, a lot of that money didn't come in yet. So we're waiting for that money now, to then go back into the general fund that we spent.
okay. So, you know, these are all things, you know, it's just not the police increase, you know, all the borough has had increases in payrolls and insurance and whatnot. It's not just one thing. So we need to really have a budget meeting and sit down and be able to say, hey, where are we really at? Where do we need to be? So I don't know, do we have plans for a budget meeting?
Yeah, I would like to do one next week, is get one early next week, Tuesday, Wednesday.
So we should have that set in place so
Wednesday?
we know when the budget meeting is, because
Oh, yeah, not Wednesday,
Planning's on Tuesday.
so Thursday maybe.
okay,
How
so
about Friday?
we
And I think we need to give more notice than, tonight we can do it tomorrow.
Well,
That-
one problem we have is there's two of us in the office, and we have a lot of work to do other than just budget, so we try to prioritize. We scheduled on Friday for Becky and I to get to the product that we have. What we try to do, and we're getting, is we come out and we say, okay, this is what the expenses look like. We say, I'm throwing a number out there, payroll for police is gonna be $2.5 million. And that's reality. Now, if there's overtime or something else happens, we don't have a crystal ball. So we could literally bring this product that we go, and council could say, okay, I don't like that number, deduct it. That's great. Where are you deducting it from, and how are you gonna make up for the shortfall here? So that's where we're at right now. We're trying to get these tendencies, you know, the utility, what have we spent in the last 3 years to get to this point? How would we do that with real estate taxes? We don't know who's gonna pay the real estate taxes. So these real estate taxes, we may say, we're gonna get 4 million. If we only get 3.7 million, we're $300,000 short. We can't help that, we can't see that. Where council comes into play, and how we used to have them with our department heads, is Bob Bicey comes in and says, I need a backup, I need a garbage truck. Then we try to fit it in there and say, this is it. When we get to this budget meeting, we're gonna be already saying, okay, this is where we are over what we think the projections are of revenues. So if expenditures are higher than revenues, which Becky already said it looks like it will be, then anything we add, we will have in yellow, things that we have to talk about. How much paving do you want to do? We did $150,000 paving. We're gonna have to double that at minimum. And some of the other things, speed humps. I said if you want speed humps, That's, you're gonna put them on with the signs, you're talking a $200,000 bill for that. So now we're at we're already at a $500,000 increase just for that, not counting anything else. Payroll we looked at, that's $150,000 increase from now. Benefits, I think it was both, benefits and that.
Yeah.
These are the things that it's reality. We can't, you know, when the real estate taxes don't come in like we're anticipating them, why would you think you're gonna get less from last year, right, or 2 years ago? When we budgeted, the big year that we had 4.8 million or something we got, that was because we got extra money from the waterfront, from that TIF. But we were able to do that job. If you remember, the job on Shady Avenue was supposed to be a 3-year project. But because we had extra money, we ended up paying for that at that time, which is a lot less expensive if you could do it one time. You don't have to pay for mobilization of equipment 3 years in a row, so forth and so on. So, you know, the budget, it is what it is, but another problem we have is taxes have not been increased in 13 years if we don't increase them this year. You can't do that. You can't just assume you're getting less and you're not going to try to get more money when everything is going up. And it's not fair to council to be able to say, you know, oh, you raise taxes. Well, everyone else, the school district raised taxes, no one says anything. Or rates increase.
There was just a finance guy on TV today, I don't know if anybody's seen it or not, talking about percentage raises for our employees. He said, you give somebody a 3% raise, they're gonna be losing money. The way they project things are gonna go up in the next 2-3 years. If you want to break even, yeah, you know, they need at least a 6% raise. And I'm just saying that,
Well, if you remember what I said last year,
Whenever you guys are done, I'm still a couple of things to say. Go ahead. Our back is starting to bother me again. So go ahead.
as I said last year, budget time, you had 3 options: raise taxes, cut expenditures, or sell off assets. If you do none of them, you're going to be in the position we're going to be.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, finally, I just want to touch on something that Rini brought up about, and this has to do with the agendas and how meetings are conducted. And I don't know if council is aware of this, but there has been changes in the Sunshine Law Act. Are you aware of this, Joe?
Yes.
Go on. So now the Sunshine Act reads that council on their agendas have to put it on the agenda for 24 hours, I believe, in advance of their meetings on their websites. So next week when we come in here and we have an agenda that's posted and someone says, well, we want to change this, we want to come in and vote on this, they can't do that.
You can. You can't vote
Only
on
if it's an emergency.
But if you're not spending any money also, like a resolution, you're putting on a resolution to, like we added today, but I think the budget, the agenda was on there last Friday, correct?
Yes, correct. We updated
I'm
it
just
this afternoon.
speaking in generality so that we're aware that there are changes and that we have to be conscious of them because someone from the ACLU or a resident could complain and take us to court, which Penn Hills is in court today about doing the same thing. So it's a problem that we need to be aware of how it's run. And we need to know the whole detail of what all the law is so that we aren't dragged into court, that we are doing it properly, that meetings are being done properly. So in what I've read about it, it didn't state that about not spending money. It talked about being on an agenda 24 hours in advance, and if you were going to change something, you know, you had to you had to have it, you could, if you missed the 24-hour period, you couldn't speak, you couldn't vote on it. Now, maybe I'm wrong in reading it that way, but certainly, it's not just the borough, it's school boards, it's all inclusive. So, I think we need to read it and get a copy of it and see what it
I
actually says.
I have a copy and I sent it to everybody at one point. If you go back to your email.
I read
find
it. I read what, I didn't get it from you, I got it from another source. I read the thing out there, it's not really finely detailed, so I'm sure there are other details that I haven't read yet.
And just to touch base, we are not, that is what we're gonna be voting on next week. We can put that on just now, we can talk about whatever we want today.
Right,
And the work-
this is not a voting meeting, and I understand that. But for next week, like, say if, Tuesday afternoon, something comes in and you say, well, we gotta get this on here. It has to be on the website 24 hours if you wanna change your agenda. That's all.
And you can't vote on it, right?
Right.
That resolution, like that last resolution, if somebody had a problem with that, we could just take it off, because it really doesn't affect anything, but it may affect, the timing may affect the library getting the grant.
Right.
So I just received this today, and.
Well, see, now if that happened next week,
Yeah.
You
You're
can
gonna
do
be
it.
able to
you couldn't do it.
This can-
Okay, well, we'll have to sit down and read that over and do that. I'm not trying to make a point of it. I'm just trying to make people, council aware that there are changes done. So whatever the legality may be, we need to know what it is. So if you want to enlighten us later, you certainly can. I'm not disputing that.
One of them changes posted in the paper a while ago when it first come out.
I didn't see it in the paper.
I believe it was.
It may have been. It may have been in the paper. I didn't see it in the paper. And that's all I have.
But that was a while ago.
It was enacted, I think, in July or August. But it's starting to come into play because the courts today are hearing from municipalities, they're getting called on it.
It was brand new because there was a conference in July, I think, because there was, at the conference, they brought this up.
Right.
At a conference I attended in July.
So,
We're not spending money.
and I salute all the veterans who are out there. Thank you for service. Thank you for your service. Thursday is Veterans Day.
And on that note, Saturday, we're taking down the banners on Main
Yes,
Street,
please go
10
out and
o'clock.
help.
If you want to help.
And Saturday, they're taking the banner, the flags out of the cemetery as well.
Today's pretty cool birthday.
You got anything else, Mark? Rob?
No, I didn't.
Rick?
Mr. Warhol tonight, or Mr. Engel?
Football, Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
Valley, 7:30, I think.
Oh, yeah, right, we got that all.
The girls soccer is playing, they're playing in Johnstown on Saturday at 1 o'clock.
There's that Hall of Fame thing up St. John's
Right.
Friday, so I'll be there.
Okay, I'll be there too.
The girls soccer won the WPIAL title,
Yes, they did.
so it's very
Jason,
impressive.
you
The
got
boys look like they have a good chance to
Yeah.
go
Mr.
a little
Engel,
deeper
can I
to
ask you
football.
2 questions?
Sure.
One, the eight council items tonight, just so I have an idea. I mean, unless I missed something, you're going to have a Public Works collective meeting, you're going to find out about the cleaning committee or company, we're going to talk about the tax anticipation. Are all these going to be motions next week to approve when seriously, how much input was there
You put in what?
about
We've been working on
any of these?
Well, the one you just said, collective bargaining, we've been sitting down with them for months now.
You have been?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just tell you, I went on Monday night to Homestead because they had, in the paper 2 weeks ago, they were having a public meeting regarding the 2022 budget. And I went. And I will tell you, everybody who went received a manager's proposal, and everybody received a 34-page comparison of
Yeah.
where they're getting these numbers and where, and then they're going to have another meeting or two, okay? I would like to know if we ever put this in the paper about a public meeting regarding the budget, or is everything just put on Mr. Varhola and Becky? And they make the decisions. I
They don't
think
make all-
Mr. Stein's
We
our
don't make the
financial.
Nobody makes a decision.
Don't make
Okay,
the decision.
well, put input,
Okay,
input.
let me
Okay?
explain
I'm
this.
just
If
asking.
if we gave you a sheet of paper and said, prepare the budget, are you capable of doing that? I'm asking you a
I'm not
question.
right now, because I'm not even on council.
Okay, but you have the budget from the last 5 years that you've been coming to the meeting. You have every budget. Are you capable and being able to prepare where we're going to be and what we need to run this borough? No
That
one
was
in this
my
room
job,
is
Mr.
but
Varela.
Becky and I.
If that was my
That's why
job.
we do this. We're not hiding anything. We're showing you that this is what we spent the last 3 years on general expenses for public works. So we're probably gonna need the same amount consistently. If you can tell me why we don't need that much next year, enlighten me, because that's the only way you can do it.
I think, let me just interject here before we get too heated. I think what she's asking is, why aren't we having public meetings, or inviting the public to come to a discussion about the budget? Is that what you're getting at?
Yes.
We could do that. And then when the public comes and asks you, we want this, we want that.
In the
you give it to
past,
them.
we did do that. In the past, we had
We had this
meetings.
because there was discretional money that we could get input to what we need to do. If you have a road that needs paved and you have another $200,000 that you want to put it in there and say, okay, let's look at this road. Bob, is this road one of the ones we need to do? By all means, we might be able to add that on there. But anything you add on now, anything you ask the public to do, you're raising taxes that
Well,
amount.
that gets back to my first question with you guys. Where are we at? Where are we gonna be at? We don't know where we're at. We don't have those numbers. I don't have the numbers. Do you have the number where we're gonna be at the end of the year?
Well, the money isn't even in yet. We don't know how much money's
Well,
coming.
You know how much we're gonna have at the end of the year? It's
much
November.
financially?
We have one more month.
We put a budget together, we say X amount's coming in, X amount's going out. So this year, we're gonna spend what we brought in. As you see,
So we're gonna have zero at the end of the year.
yeah,
No, we're gonna be minus about 950.
maybe.
Oh, without a doubt, if not $1 million.
And is that why we take out the tax anticipation loan?
The tax anticipation
Just
pays,
asking. Right.
same as always. It pays until the taxes come in. It's a bridge. It gives us, if we don't have the tax anticipation done, we're not going to have money in January, February, March to pay the bills until it comes in. That's why you do it. And it was always done.
Well, how about this, Joe? A Homestead in 2009, built that building down there for a little over $1 million. We got a building gave to us, and it cost us over about $7 million. And it ain't even completed. And there ain't even no character in that building. Come on, Joe, there ain't no character, it's a bunch of drywall.
What kind of-
Even the council room looks like crap.
Dave, what kind of building Homestead got?
It's a nice building,
Where's their police station?
in that borough
Where's
building.
their jails at?
I don't know.
They don't have none.
Where,
Okay, but what I'm saying is we didn't need to spend $7 million on a damn building
you want to spend 12 million on this building, right?
over time.
How are you going to do that, Dave?
How about this, you could have built a police station somewhere else cheaper than what you built that building, and you can make it work here. Laugh like it's funny, but we're gonna be $1 million in the hole going into the year.
Hey, Mac, they're gonna bait the asbestos, the lead and the mold while we're sitting there working. But then next year, they're gonna come in there and do the electric. The year after that, they're gonna do the plumbing while we sit
Well,
here
you
and
could,
do the work.
you could
We
seal
went
off.
over this stuff
No,
a
you
long
can't.
time ago.
It's too late.
It's done, it's too late.
It's over.
It's over.
Now, here's another matter. For business arising within 24 hours prior to the meeting, a public agency may take official action on a matter of agency business that is not listed on the meeting agenda if, 1, the matter arises or is brought to the attention of the public agency within the 24-hour period prior to the meeting, and 2, the matter is minimal in nature and does not involve expenditure of funds or entering into a contract or agreement by the public agency. Secondly, for business arising during the meeting. If a resident or taxpayer brings a matter of agency business that is not listed on the meeting agenda to the attention of the public agency may take official action to refer the matter to staff if applicable, for the purpose of researching the matter for inclusion on the agenda of a future meeting. Or, if the matter is minimal in nature and does not involve the expenditure of funds or entering into the contract or agreement, the public agency may take official action in the matter. So,
That could be read in any way you want to talk about.
all right.
Expenditure could be
You just talked
$100.
to,
$100 could be an expenditure of your book, not mine. So I could say, well, I'm gonna vote on this. So that's,
No, it said no expenditure. If you're not
did it say
expending,
no expenditure?
Yeah.
Or minimal expenditure?
no, the minimal, no, it said minimal, if the topic was minimal, and it doesn't include the spending of expenditures.
Okay.
I'll read that again.
no, you don't read it again.
No,
Don't read it again.
no, you tell me I'm wrong.
No.
I didn't tell you were wrong.
Joe, you ain't got to be so aggressive, man, we're just talking.
Okay, yeah, well, this will work out.
Let me
That's
take-
it. I need a motion.
Now make a motion to adjourn.
I need a second. All right.